to have them here to share their stories. Hopefully, after hearing their story, you will also get excited about FastTrack program and wanted to leverage that. So at the end, we'll wrap up the session by sharing with you some information how to get started. At the end, we'll also leave some time for you to ask questions so you can have direct conversation with us, with our customer as well. Without further ado, I'll just get started. So through various conversations and engagement with our customers, we see a growing investment and increasing adoption of cloud services. Based on recent study from the IDC, 80% of business around the globe actually adopting or fully embracing the cloud services today. And what is even more prevailing trend we're seeing from our customer is that your journey to the cloud is actually accelerating. So Gartner predicts by the year 2021, more than half of the global enterprise who are using the cloud service today will adopt an all-in cloud strategy. Now you probably have a second question, what is all-in cloud strategy, right? It's different from what you probably heard about cloud first or even cloud only strategy, because the cloud first and cloud only strategy only applies to areas you're already planning to change. The all-in cloud strategy actually will impact the historically largest state of status quo infrastructure. That is the part actually keep your lights on. That means adoption of cloud service actually will become fundamentally transformational to your business in a quite near future. So in this case, you're probably thinking, what I need to do? Actually, I would say we will recommend you to start planning the roadmap to the all-in cloud future, and also pick the battlefield you wanted to start with to do the heavy cloud technology lifting, where the areas makes the most business sense to you. For example, like Microsoft will pick those we can differentiate our custom value proposition to start with. I think this is something you can think about as well. So cloud business application actually become more and more important in your business when you're thinking about all-in cloud strategy. So Microsoft is ready to help you. I would say Microsoft is the only vendor on the planet, cloud service provider on Earth, can have actually the rich, most complete, comprehensive cloud service offering, can help to support your business needs whenever all-in cloud strategy you decided to take. So to be being customer obsessed, we want to understand what are your expectation in the cloud world, right? So those are the three things we have heard again from our customer, what you're looking for cloud services. Businesses are changing, and the change is constant. So in order to enable that, IT needs to move quickly to meet business needs. So you turn to cloud services for shorter time to value. You also want more and more users, your end users, to use the services you offer to them. So as the business as a whole, you can achieve more return on investment on Dynamics 365, on your cloud services, etc. So you like those simple and easy to use cloud services, so you can shorten the learning curve. Last but not least, you and also your users want to have timely help and support whenever you want it, so you can enjoy the service without disruption. So these are all very high expectation, and these are all what Microsoft aspires to provide to our customer as well. And what we'll see here, the FastTrack is the first step or strategic step we've taken to move to that direction. So just share a little bit history of our FastTrack. This is not a totally brand new program. So Office 365 team actually 4 years ago introduced this program. Just right in this room, actually earlier there's a session about the Office 365, FastTrack, etc. They're talking a lot more about the innovation and the improvement they do. So it's a great program that has been proven to be very successful. So you can see the stats here shown on the screen. They made tremendous impact on the customer and it helped them to move to the cloud. In the past couple of years, EMS, Azure, Windows, Dynamics 365, you all join the journey to provide our FastTrack program. So how many of you have heard about FastTrack for Dynamics 365 before? Okay, great, good number, good number. So how many of you have engaged with FastTrack for Dynamics 365? Okay, awesome. So this is why we wanted to kind of have this session here, right? We wanted to drive awareness, get you all excited. So later we'll have our customers share their stories. So let me just bring everyone up to speed. What is FastTrack for Dynamics 365? So FastTrack for Dynamics 365 is our customer success service to help our customer move to Dynamics 365 smoothly and confidently, so you can realize business value faster. So when you participate in the FastTrack program, you will actually receive guidance on best practices and how to plan a successful rollout. You also will learn ways so you can enable new users and expand your capabilities all at your own pace. In addition to that, what makes it super valuable is you will have access to Microsoft engineering team resources committed to make your Dynamics 365 experience a great success. So two things I wanted to highlight here. First, the FastTrack service actually is free to all the eligible customers. There is no additional cost for you to leverage as long as you're eligible. It's already included in your subscription. Second is we have FastTrack engineering resources all around the globe to cover those major markets in Americas, EMEA, APAC, to provide you remote assistance in your time zone, in your region. So you don't need to worry about the weird time zone you need to adjust to take advantage of the services. I wanted to here then show you our journey since the inception of FastTrack of Dynamics 365. So we launched a pilot back in WPC 2016 to only make it available to a very small selected group of customers. But with very successful results, in January, we decided to make available more broadly to our customer. So together with the rest of Microsoft cloud services, including Office, Azure, Windows, EMS, we made a joint public announcement of our public preview of FastTrack for Dynamics 365. Since then, we didn't stop. Actually, we continue to evolve and improve our service portfolio so we can better meet our customers' onboarding and adoption needs. So you can see in Q4 FY17, we actually expanded our FastTrack for financial operation through a tiered service model, so we can make the essential benefits, onboarding benefits, available for our smallest customer segments. In July 2017, actually at Inspire, we announced a big set of new services as well. So we announced new app-specific onboarding services to help our customer to leverage the best and the greatest technology app we introduced in the market. So the new app-specific onboarding services we introduced is for field service, project service automation. In addition, we also introduced a set of adoption services, which is solely focusing on how you can help to drive technical adoption and user adoption among your company. Today, we're announcing a new set of service to the service family that is to meet an increasing demand from our on-prem customer move to the cloud. We are introducing upgrade and migration services to help our customer you to move to the cloud, to accelerate your journey to the cloud. So we'll start with introduce the migration service to help you move from CRM on-prem versions 2011, 2013, 2015 to the latest customer engagement apps. And for the AX 2009 on-prem customers, we are introducing data migration service to help you move to the latest financial operation app. For AX 2012, we're starting with the support of R3 customers through the upgrade service to the latest finance operations. In the later of the year, we'll start to support R2 and RTM version customer as well. So through FastTrack service, what we're going to share with you is best practice-based methodology and tooling, and also share with you guidance so you can take that and leverage what you learn from FastTrack and use it in your actual migration project to drive a successful migration processes, etc. So I wanted to encourage you actually to stop by our station at the Microsoft Showcase so you can talk with our FastTrack experts about your migration needs, etc., to learn more about the service. Within the next month or so, we're starting publishing information about those service details on fasttrack.microsoft.com and also service description on our .microsoft.com. So we will get more information about the service. So since our launch, we see a tremendous interest from our customers, and also its success impacting our customers' business. So you can see we have over 1,500 nominations just in a year time frame. And currently, like all our FastTrack engineers are actively engaging with over 800 customers. We had close to 350 customers went live, and with a much shorter time to go live period compared with industry average. So we see a tremendous momentum in the market, and all of you also wanted to leverage this service as much as possible. Maybe you have a question now in the mind. Oh, since Microsoft will help do things, maybe we don't need partner. The answer is no, 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 no. The essence of FastTrack actually want to work with you and your partner during this process. What we will be sharing with you is the latest knowledge, product knowledge and tool, and also best practice and the guidance. So you and your partner can take that and to drive the actual implementation project to be faster and smoother. So in this case, this is really a three-way partnership. I can share with you stats like we have like 75% partner attach rate to all the projects we engage. So usually we will recommend you to work with the implementation partner first and before engage with FastTrack, because we'll work closely with them, and the results that we're getting from FastTrack will be better. You have an implementation partner. So how you can get started, right? So it's very simple as this journey. Obviously, there's a lot of steps. This is a simplified version. So you can start easily from like contacting your Microsoft account team and also your partner to learn more about the FastTrack program, and they can share with you where you can benefit from the program, and also they can help you to nominate your project to the FastTrack program. And then we'll work with you and your partners to get a clear understanding of your project and to define a most impactful engagement plan. And then we'll move forward together to drive a success implementation project with you. So with that, hopefully the quick overview of FastTrack for Dynamics 365 is helpful. Now I'm going to hand over to next speaker as my colleague JP, and he's going to share with you more about the details, the service you get through FastTrack. Hand over to you.
Thank you, Julia. So good afternoon. My actual name is not JP. It's João Pedro Almeida. I'm Portuguese, but my first name usually is unpronounceable, so JP is good. I'm the senior PM manager, so I'm the person responsible for the team that delivers FastTrack in EMEA. And what we are going to talk here today, it's about our experience on delivering those engagements. So in a nutshell, if I have to summarize what we do in FastTrack, as Julie was saying, is mainly to deliver guidance and best practices on our experience implementing solutions on top of Dynamics 365. This includes best practices on technical onboarding, technical adoption, architectural and technical guidance. So our team is composed mainly of people with several years of experience technical implementing solutions on top of Dynamics 365. Also, we do deliver product roadmap knowledge. So we try that you configure as most the system and whenever possible, not customize. So it makes migration and upgrade efforts much more smooth through the life cycle of Dynamics 365. Nevertheless, as Julie also was saying, the partner still is there. You still need to do project and program management and governance. You need to do the development, the customization, the requirement gathering, the analysis, the architectural design. So everything that previously, on a typical implementation, customers and partners will do, they will need to continue to do. We have split this, let's call life cycle, in 3 phases. The first is the envisioning, where customers will try to understand, okay, what are the key drivers for change? Why do I need to implement a new solution? And this will be the motivating factor to meet with your stakeholders, trying to understand the business requirements, and also get an understanding of, okay, these are your requirements, so if I develop according to this, I get a bigger adoption because I'll meet your business requirements. Next step will be to prioritize your business scenarios. Based on this, FastTrack can partner with you and demonstrate the Dynamics 365 capabilities so you can map those capabilities to the business scenarios that you identified. As an example. So at the end of this phase, you'll have your success criteria and the project plan. Based on that project plan is easy. You just execute it and the project is a success, right? No. So I have a project management background, and when we finished previous years ago, when we would finish a project plan, one of my colleagues one time said, okay, we exactly know what's not going to happen. So how do we make sure that what we plan for is actual the reality? So on the onboarding phase with our project plan, our experience that if we deliver to you the guidance and best practices on what worked in other projects, what actually had a positive impact on other customer projects, you will benefit from that. And we do this by doing 3 simple things, okay? We deliver formal knowledge transfer sessions about specific themes that we are going to more detail a little bit later. We do customize side-by-side working sessions with you on topics that are relevant to you, and ad hoc question answering on topics that can appear in any projects and foreseen situations specific to Dynamics 365. The end of the day, everything is to keep you on track with the initial plan. Okay? Last phase is about to drive value. At the end of the day, it's about the value that we deliver to the organization. We want to have our users excited with the opportunity to improve their day-to-day working processes. Okay? So FastTrack here can partner with you, for example, with the IT personnel, to transfer the knowledge about how to administer the solution, the service, how to react to service changes, for example, how to interact, for example, how to react when there is an upgrade path that needs to be followed, or to try to access the user experience of the solution and provide technical recommendations on how to improve, for example, the performance of the forms, so users will have a much more faster system in their hands, and this will in turn help with end user adoption. So these are the 3 phases that each project will, of course, go through. As a review, we do this by delivering 3 things. The technical tech talks will be the formal knowledge transfer sessions, where we'll deliver knowledge on such topics as performance optimization, on configuration, tenant administration. Second will be the workshops. These are the customized side-by-side working sessions. So our FastTrack program managers will work with your team, partners and customers on specific topics that you want to see. For example, how to configure a specific set of functionality. Third way of helping you will be the regular touch points. This is what I call the catch-all option. So every week, every other week, every month, you'll have a chance to meet with our FastTrack PM and have a conversation about any blockers that you have and have someone try to unblock your situation so we keep on track with the initial plan. Going into a little bit more detail on the portfolio of options that we have to deliver to you, I would like to focus on some of them. So we have, for example, the driving user adoption. This tech talk is basically where we are going to discuss the things that you need to consider so at the end of the project, the users adopt the system. Things like performance testing, things like key stakeholder engagement at the beginning of the project. Second, another example will be the tenant administration. This is where we show you the day-to-day activities that system administrators need to do on your tenant to make sure that the system is operating according to what you expect. For example, doing such operations as assigning security roles to users, like what to do when you get a notification about storage or a service change, and how to react to that. Another example will be the application lifecycle services. It's about how to set up your infrastructure so you have a predictable and quality development, test, and release process. You can do it manually, but also you can do a full automated process end-to-end. Another example will be, on a later stage, the performance optimization services, where we share with you all the performance best practices to have in consideration when developing the solution. On top of this, included on this tech talk, we provide also the opportunity to do code review to small parts of your code. For example, if you have customizations, code that you think are critical to certain parts of the performance of the system, we can do that code review and provide you with recommendations for improvement. And last example that I will have here will be the user assessment. This is where we try to understand from the typical users of the solution end-to-end if you have any reliability performance issues, and then provide recommendations, technical recommendations on how to improve that. For example, on the form load time, on server-side sync configurations, anything that can impact end-user experience according to their expectations. So I would like to call Mr. Russell Palmer. He's the Director of Applications of USI Insurance Services. Welcome, Russell.
Thank you.
So can you tell us a little bit about USI and what you do?
Sure. So USI is an insurance brokerage firm. We specialize in mid-market businesses, insuring mid-market businesses. We started out in 1994 out of San Francisco, about a $6.5 million revenue, one office. And we've grown to today, we're about 140 offices across the country, 4,400 employees, and over $1 billion in revenue. My role as Director of Applications, my team predominantly is responsible for applications in the sales, marketing, business intelligence. We do custom development, we do dynamic CRM, and then a lot of Microsoft BI products.
Only that.
Only that.
Okay, and what role does Dynamics 365 play in USI?
Predominantly Dynamics 365 in the CRM space. We have currently, I believe, around 5 production instances of CRM. We use it for our mergers and acquisitions. We have one for client servicing. We have one for specialty products. Our biggest one, which Chris helped us just implement and move to online from on-premise, is our retail sales environment, which is where we have 1,000 salespeople that actually access that system. So we kind of, that was our biggest one that we just implemented.
Okay. And what were the outcomes that Chris or FastTrack enabled you to attain?
Well, there was a few different things that kind of Chris helped us out with. And I think one of the first ones is we actually moved to our mergers and acquisitions one. We kind of did as a proof of concept, and we did it in, I believe it was in early 2016. We rolled it out, and a small group of people, probably about 12 users, just to kind of get a feel of what CRM Online and what online is about, because we're in a really big online shop, and we have really performance issues and just kind of, weren't 100% sold on it, but we kind of like, all right, we're going to make this move anyway. We're going to go to online. And one of the first things when I was meeting with Chris, he's like, well, we can get that Microsoft data center moved to a closer data center to where your data center is located, and that will definitely help performance out. And sure enough, a couple weeks later, he helped us get it moved, and like performance was like night and day. So just things like that where he really made a huge difference for us. And his expertise definitely, things that we didn't account for. He kind of seen before, and he understood coming in.
And have you had any experience with Chris also on the insides of the platform?
Yeah, so we've kind of gone through, we walked through different sessions together. So we would start with kind of our weekly call of kind of just, working with Hitachi Solutions was our vendor of kind of just like the overall project. And then we would kind of work at going through just the different stages of kind of what the difference of what the online environment was versus the on-premise environment and the structure and things like that.
Okay. And what advice would you give other customers in similar situations?
It's funny you say it, because when I first got introduced to FastTrack and I saw it, I was like, really? I was like, I just didn't buy into it, and I was kind of like, it's just going to be like this, another thing that's going to get in our way, trying to get the project done, more meetings, and I was wrong. Like I said, as soon as I met with Chris and had that conversation and saw what he really knew about Dynamics and his knowledge of the product and kind of his experience and what he brought to our project to get it online, it was, so I would say to anybody that's kind of going to go through a big project like that, we went from on-premise to online or any kind of transition, definitely I would recommend, trying the service and go, it was definitely eye-opening to me. I was impressed.
Just 15 minutes ago, we were talking about the support experience also, remember?
Yes.
So how did Chris make that experience better for you?
Basically, Chris was, every time we opened a ticket, Chris was there, like, give me the ticket number, give me the person, let's get on the phone, and like I was explaining to you, I was like, when we have an issue, we've already Googled everything, we've been through all those troubleshooting steps, we're past that, and we're ready for that next step, and kind of Chris took it there where we didn't have to waste that time, where he kind of, and there was actually, the weekend we went live, we had an issue with the user provisioning and kind of the way we were moving users over to the new environment. We needed to keep the existing user GUID so they would line up. And we had about 100 of those users come over and get new GUIDs, and we kind of were stuck in a bind, and we had to open tickets. And Chris was actually on PTO. And I kind of joked when I sent an email out saying, Chris has got such a boring vacation and boring life, he had nothing better to do than on his day off than kind of call in and help us out. So, anytime there was an issue, he kind of jumped in right away and helped us fight through situations.
So he also helped providing that context to the support personnel.
Yes.
To make sure that they understand it's not only this case, but it's an issue that's happening on a broad project with a set of deadlines.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, and and he kind of helped vet out of what it was more than just these little things. It was a bug or a bigger issue, and helped get to that point right away. So we weren't wasting valuable hours re-troubleshooting everything we've troubleshooted already. Where so in a project like that, that's saves a lot of time.
Okay. Thank you, Russell, for your time.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. So I would call then Alejandro, my colleague from Dynamics 365 Operations.
Thank you, JP.
Thank you.
Well, my name is Alejandro Gutierrez. I'm part of the Finance and Operations Solution Architecture team in Dynamics. Well, we have listened about all the story behind FastTrack and how we are doing FastTrack for customer and engagement app. Well, for finance and operations, there are things a little bit different, right? We are implementing ERP, so we have tailored the program for a typical ERP implementation, but we are looking in this program how we can increase the time to value also in the regular phases that we have on ERP. How we do that? We keep the same concepts of the technical talks. We keep the concept also of the touching points. We connect with our customers regularly, and also with the workshops. One difference in the workshops, of course, they are specific to finance and operations. These workshops are, you see in this slide, an example of the workshops that we deliver, but we are continuously adding more content. Why? Because finance and operations is a product that we are still keeping improving, right? We are adding more tools, better processes, and remember, we are keeping updates constantly on platform on a monthly basis, on an applications on twice a year. So that means that there is a lot of features and functionality that we want our customers to adopt. Yeah? Because of that, the workshops that we design are aligned to that. So how we can keep our teams implementing up to date. So typically our partners, they bring the experience to the team, to the implementations, right? But in the part of the functionalities that we keep adding or the tools, we are there for them and for you as a customer to keep you up to date. So that means that even if it's likely that during your implementation, if your implementation takes, let's say, 6 months, it's likely that you will touch different platform updates, right? So what things are new that you need to be aware and make sure that you are implementing in the right way. So it's why FastTrack is there for you. So it's a service that will go in the journey with you to make sure that when you land to your go live, you land safely. So there is another difference in the FastTrack for finance and operations. We touch all our customers. 100% of our projects are included in the program. Yeah, that means that we have visibility of what is happening worldwide on all the ERP implementations for this app, meaning that we are gathering a ton of information on best practices, how one partner performs versus to another, how one customer solves one problem compared to another. So all this information is now translated in FastTrack as a benefit. It's knowledge that we transfer to you as a team implementing. So, of course, because when we say 100% of the customers, we also need to define some thresholds, right? We have some limits, let's say for specific projects that have more than 150 seats, we do a FastTrack regular program. Our touch points are more frequent. When we do FastTrack Essentials, because it's the 150 and below, we still have the onboarding part, but also we make sure that when you are getting ready to go live, we do a health check, a pre-go live health checks. We will work with you as a workshop and review all the important aspects that you need to keep in mind when you are going live. So the objective is the same on both. We just need different scales, right, for the different programs. But all this looks great, but I prefer to have one of our customers that has gone through the journey and share with you the experience. And I would like to invite Andre Vargas from CAA, so he can share us from first voice what he means FastTrack from a customer point of view in finance and operations. Thank you, Andre.
Hello.
Thank you, Sid.
Awesome.
So, Andre, share us a little bit more about you so everybody knows what CAA is. Maybe you will find the connection very soon. Let's say, share.
Anybody here heard of CAA before? Not CIA, but CAA. All right, just a couple of hands. Well, if you watch TV or listen to music or watch sports, you will guarantee be watching one of our clients. So if you go to the movies or watch TV shows or we've packaged shows. So we're in the media and entertainment world and the sports. So maybe you can want to go to the next slide.
Sure.
But we do much more than just motion picture, television, and music. It's a company that wants to put the client at the center, the artist, And artists have all kinds of aspirations to how to express themselves. So, from games to financing their own movies, to theater, to having foundations, and a lot of our clients have the need to have their own foundations, and we advise them on that stuff. Television, sports, pretty broad.
Yeah. But how that works exactly, the model?
Yeah, so the way it works is excellent slide. Thank you for that. So the way it works is CAA is kind of like a broker. So think of like real estate. So somebody's selling a house and somebody wants to buy a house. So in our world, our clients are the artists, and our buyers, those could be studios or teams,
okay.
Things like that. So in terms of finance and operations, it's interesting that when I arrived to the company, it's kind of like a backwards world compared to what you would expect in a financial system. Because what we consider our clients, they're actually vendors in the system. And our buyers are actually the customers. So an artist sells talent to a company who's going to produce a movie, for example. So that's kind of like how we are set up. So our job is really to identify the talent. And once the talent becomes our clients, it is our job to optimize their wishes. It's not so much make the most money. It's about, I want to make a movie about something in some jungle. So, we'll go find that and make it happen. So it's fulfilling dreams of artists.
Perfect. So if somebody needs representations, you are the right guys, right?
If you're talented, let me know.
Perfect. Well,
are you auditioning?
Well, we will talk after
Okay.
this session. Yeah. So CAA is not new in Dynamics, right? They are veterans on this on Dynamics, but tell us a little bit about the history in Dynamics in your company.
Yeah, and I know you won't like what I'm about to say, so be prepared. So breaking with some of the mold of the earlier slides, we don't use partners. We build our own team. It's kind of like the CAA way that we believe we have a very unique business process that doesn't exist out of the box. So there is no ISVs for us. There are no third-party vendors that are going to create how we transact with our clients and our buyers. So we kind of built our own module in AX. For those of you who've ever come from an AS400, you will recognize that there is slightly an inherited process from the AS400 built into AX even today, so we're still paying the price of design decisions made in the 90s. But the first thing we did was migrate to AX 2009. That was an entire migration from an AS400. Then we migrated to AX 2012, and this February we went live with Dynamics 365. But the reason for that really is CAA went on an all-cloud strategy 4 years ago, and we closed our data center 2 years ago. It was literally a floor in our building. So that's completely gone, and we had one system left on-premise, which was really in a co-location, and that was AX 2012. So with it in 365, we are no longer in the operations business.
But wait, let's do one step back. You are already veteran in AX. You have your own team implementing, so that means you don't need a partner.
Yep.
What is the value of FastTrack for you if you already know this business?
Well, lots of value. And this is where, I'll say you're welcome. There has been a lot of interactions with the FastTrack team, and I'm hoping that you're taking some of the things that we've gone through. The first thing I would say is don't think of FastTrack as support. That's the first thing to know. They will say, no, go figure it out and then come back to us when you have like real issues. So what really happens is we have really experienced AX architects, developers, functional analysts. But if you've worked with AX for 10 years, you understand client server. You don't understand cloud. You understand Windows forms and calls between a server and a client and reducing the number of calls. Now you are in HTML5. You were in X++ design, now you're in Visual Studio. So what tends to happen is you go from like really expert to semi-ignorant really fast. So having the FastTrack team for us, it just gave our team the confidence that like, well, you know, we don't need to be too ignorant because we'll be skilled up really quick. So the workshops, on-site visits, it just eases the team into the new world, like deploying code. You know, we were experts at deploying code, and suddenly you have to submit it in LCS and wait, and you're calling the FastTrack team, why is the code not released yet? Well, there is a process and a cadence that we had to get adjusted to. So that was really important to us to have somebody in there. The other thing that's happening as well, and I'm violating all the bullets, I'll get back to the bullets. What also happens is we were early adopters, and one of the things, the strategic reasons for going to the cloud for us as well is we have upgrade fatigue. So if you see, you know, AS400, 2009, 2012, R2, et cetera, at some point, even the business is kind of like, all right, are we going to do another 3 months of parallel testing runs? And going to the cloud is forcing us to move all of our migrations outside of the base Microsoft platform code because we've heavily customized it. And that means that now Microsoft can do the updates without us having to do major upgrades. So we're very excited about that for sure. But let's have a look at some of these bullets. Let's see. So early engagement and planning, that was critical for us because we did not really understand this managed environment. So what does it mean and how do you deploy one? You press a button. You know, we used to just commission our own servers. So understanding how to work with the DSE and just getting educated on how to interact in this new platform, because all our guys today would say they're experts, but I'm telling you, 9 months ago, they just were scared about getting into this project.
So what's part of the guidance on the journey to get there?
Yeah, the guidance is critical. Obviously, you guys know exactly what to do. And we read, and we can play a little bit with the different tool sets. But when you're actually in the middle of the upgrade and there's a class you can't extend, or there is a feature that disappeared in the upgrade, and you look everywhere and there's nowhere to find, then it's nice to have the FastTrack team on the other side of the phone. So that's why we had, basically they allocate an engineer to your team, and it's a designated engineer, and poor guy, you call them, and the fun part the fun part for us, and not so much for the FastTrack team, is that they never get easy questions, right? So we, just like you did, we exhaust every single option, and then when we finally reach out, it's like, ugh, never easy, right? So, but for us, it's great, because then we can, parallel run, right? So the engineer goes in, tries to solve a problem, we move on to the next one, then they come back, so that's very, very good.
Perfect.
Performance, for those of you considering going to D365, remember that you're also going from SQL 2012 to SQL Azure. So that surprised us, because obviously on the SQL side, it's actually in the managed environment. We don't see it. You don't really have access to it, which is another thing that was interesting for us to get used to, not having complete access to the database. So obviously, the technical architects get anxieties, like, what do you mean I can't get into the SQL server? So having access to the performance team was monumental. So to me, probably the biggest value, apart from the trusted advisors and all the knowledge that you guys bring, is like access. So you get routed to somebody who can answer those really, really hard questions that we won't be able to answer.
Yeah. Thank you, Andre. This is great feedback. Well, there is one thing that I just, before to hand to the next slides with Julia, there is one thing that for us is very important. In FastTrack, you are not one more customers. We really care about our customers. We have the same objective as you to go live successfully. Like we really want to help you to achieve more and to do more with all solutions. and we celebrate every single go live that we have. So it's very important for us. So it's part of our teams gets connected with your teams and through the journey, and that's why this connection is important, because we are part of the same team. Yeah? So I look forward to work with you, our team, the entire team, and we will celebrate together every single go live.
One more advice I would like to give, if that's
Sure.
okay, before you kick me
Sure.
out. Yeah.
No,
So.
no, we need to talk after this session.
Oh, okay. So if you do have a partner, I would still want to have FastTrack, because partners are also human and they are also learning Dynamics 365. It's a new product. So having a partner doesn't guarantee they know how to solve your problems. So get yourselves on the FastTrack program. If it's included, just take it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you want to take questions, I was going to ask you before.
Oh.
Sure.
Maybe there are questions, take the questions.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Speaking about performance from the end user perspective, how did that increase or change? I know you had to change, going to HTML5, HTML5, but what were you using before, maybe Citrix or?
Well, no, actually we had the rich clients. For London, so we are based in LA, so for London we did use the RDS clients because it was impossible to have a form load. But today we have none of that. So our London office uses the HTML pages as if it was any website. So the user experience has improved for us. Now that we finally got fixed, a lot of the performance things is because we designed the forms for Windows forms. So as you get educated to design your loading of the data for a web page, and how you send the data back, everything changes, right? So the way you render it loads, rows at a time rather than the whole form. If you have 10,000 lines in a form, so, it loads a few at a time. So there's definitely improvements in the user experience because it's web.
We will have more time for Q&A after the session, so
Okay.
let's...
Kick me out?
No. We need to talk about the representation.
Okay.
Thank you, Andre. I appreciate your time.
Thank you,
Julia,
thank you.
it's...
Okay, thank you so much. I really learned a lot from our FastTrack engineering team speakers and our customers. Hopefully you also learn a lot. And also excited, want to leverage that. So let me share with you some information can get us started. So let's first look at eligibility criteria. So just before that, I would just want to share with you a little bit the direction we're going, right? We think FastTrack is really important to us and to your success as well. So the direction we're going is to focus on 3 areas. First, we really wanted to kind of evolve our existing service to better serve you. So as Alejandro and JP mentioned, we'll leverage the best practice we'll learn through the customer engagement and incorporate into the service. You will see the evolution of the service every time engaged. And the second is we're introducing new apps, new features, new functions. We want to incorporate that into FastTrack engagement as well. So you always share the latest knowledge tools with you, so you always get the latest and greatest. The third one is actually wanted to try our best to kind of offer the FastTrack service to cover more customers. This is where we're moving, so we're making efforts to that. So let's look at what we have right now available for you. So for customer engagement apps, we have a threshold to 50 seats for our customer to be eligible for the full benefits of FastTrack programs. So including tech talk, workshop, regular touch points, and the designated FastTrack engineer. So for unified operations, as Alejandro mentioned earlier, we cover all the customers because we have 2 minimum seats requirements for you to purchase. So we cover all the customers through a tiered service model. So 20 to 149, we offer what we think is very essential, very important benefits for you to get onboarded. And if getting to 150 above, you will get the full benefits, similar as customer engagement. So you will get all the benefits included in FastTrack. So what you can do now, so there's a couple of opportunities, a lot of opportunity for you to engage, right? At the event, thank you for attending this session. So you started the journey already. And we have, as we just announced, the two new, the new set of service migration for upgrade services. We have 2 sessions at Ignite. Actually, we'll go deeper on that. One already happened. Hopefully you attend, but don't worry about that. I think the session is recorded. The slides will be shared later. So there's one happened this morning about AX upgrade and migration. And on Friday, we'll have a session about CRM migration services. So welcome to join to that session to learn more about the tool, methodology, and the service we offer to you through FastTrack. And we encourage you to engage with us at our station at the Microsoft Showcase. So this is the West Building. The showcase is in South Building. Hopefully already been there. So there are shuttles there. You can walk. So there's all different ways for you to go there. So feel free to stop by, and our experts will be there to have a conversation to understand your needs and answer any question you have. After the event, you can contact your Microsoft account team, your partner, to learn more about the FastTrack, and you can ask them to nominate your project as well. And also, we put our public available resources on fasttrack.microsoft.com/dynamics, so you can see the latest information about the program. So hopefully the information is helpful. Really appreciate your time actually attending that. This is just a slide summarize the other FastTrack sessions. If you're interested, you have other Microsoft products, you can go to the FastTrack session to learn more about what specifically they offer. Highlight is our sessions. So I wanted to leave the rest of the time actually for Q&A. I want to invite our speakers back on the stage. Sorry for a little bit standing time for all the speakers, but I wanted to offer this opportunity for all the attendees here and to kind of ask your question. So if you have a question, feel free to come to the mic, and so you can ask the question and everyone can hear you. Any questions?
Can you ask how many other people who have kind of taken FastTrack and benefited? Maybe there are other people. I see 2 names.
Yeah, it's somebody here that is already engaged on a FastTrack program in your project? Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Our company's made up of 7 different industries, and we're rolling them in one industry at a time. We've got about 4 rolled in now. We have on the calendar the next 2.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get all 7 in before you try and go to Office 365, or do you say, take a break, we're going to try and move 5 into Office 365, and the last 2 will come into Office 365?
The question is about how we recommend customers when they have a bigger footprint, like in this case, you have 7 industries, how to do it, all of them in one pass or gradually. Well, the thing here is that one of the important aspects here is bring value quick, right? But at the same time that we have an architecture and a strategy, how you continue growing with the solution. So in general, what the project does is we recommend that do phase implementations, meaning that as far as you control the risk, you can take one and you can keep expanding, but it's important that the decisions in the first phase are already planned for the next one. Yeah? So also we need to understand if the industry will be connected in some way or not. That means that we need to share data or not. So there are many architectural aspects that we need to review, and we will go with you in that process. So depending your specific scenario, when we engage with you, we can talk more about the scenario, but there are different ways to do it. Yeah? Yeah?
Thank you. Next question.
The question is if we can migrate from Dynamics AX 2009 to Dynamics 365 for finance and operations. Yes. Navision. Okay. Well, in that case, it's not necessarily migration, but we provide the tools to. It's not a migration service that we install a tool and do it, but we provide all the tools that you need to take your data and put it inside of a 365 for finance and operations. So we are all these projects that you have seen, that we have implemented, and the ones that are in flight right now, they are using all these tools right, and there are different mechanisms on how to improve that process. Yeah, it's totally possible. Yeah. We do that all the time. Yeah.
Next question. Would you mind to come to the mic? A little bit exercise.
Have you used FastTrack for the on-premise migration?
For
365
the question is if we have FastTrack for on-premise deployment. Well, FastTrack, we don't distinguish by the type of deployment. So it's for finance and operations. And for every project, we will do the assessments as for your specific requirement.
I'll just clarify to that one. I think the engagement model will be slightly different. The reason for that is when we have the cloud service, you have a lot more engagement with us from dynamic service engineers and others. Whereas when it's cloud, initial deployment is where we need to have engagement because that's the LCS experience. So in between, there might be less of an engagement. But certainly you will be eligible to have the conversation.
So the program applies, just we work a little bit different. Yeah.
So one of the biggest differences is that in customer engagement, FastTrack is only made available to online deployments. So we don't cover the on-premise deployments.
That's a good clarification because I think the difference here is, for us from Dynamics 365, the deployment choice still forces you to use the LCS, and there are certain capabilities that is still going to be cloud, like Power BI and Cortana Analytics. So that's why we still have some level of improvement. Thank you. That's a good clarification. I think there was a question. Do you want to say?
Oh, just the one thing to call out, although like right now customer engagement only kind of for new projects only do online version like Dynamics 365, but we do, as I just announced, we do provide a migration service to help customer who using on-prem product right now move to online. So this we support. So because we want to move you to the cloud. So, okay, any other questions? Go ahead.
CAA, three great questions. How many users do you have in the system and how much customization did you have in the on-prem solution and how long was the project moved to the cloud?
Yeah, so we have about 150 or so users across the globe. And in front of Microsoft, I'm going to tell them how much we've bastardized the system. So yeah, we did a lot of customization. So the most expensive and painful work for us is the work of getting out of the Microsoft code, because you have to move out of the the platform and the layers that they're going to lock down. So that for us is what was the most painful. Like we have a complete automation on top of base classes. So that's the heaviest thing. I would say we did a pilot that took a couple of weeks just to show the business what the system would look like on the web to get that buy-in. So it's like, don't get scared. It's just, because for the users, you're going from a Windows app to a web app. It's like you're going from like, Outlook 2010 to Office 365. You're getting like, oh my God, where are my buttons now? So things like that. So we wanted to first ease that in. I think the technical upgrade took maybe 2 months. And then you add a couple of months of data migration, iterations, and refinements. But at CAA, because we do this with the business rather than just IT testing, we do this thing called parallel testing. So we did about 13 or 14 upgrades, really, over the end of the project, where every week we would do an upgrade, test Monday, Tuesday, half-day production, half-day new system, and then upgrade again the next weekend, and so on until the system was pretty much par. And then you go live and nobody notices.
For anybody who's on CRM as well, we had very similar experience. Or we probably, what I'll say scrapped, but probably thousands and thousands of lines of custom code that we had in our on-premise environment when we migrated to online, and kind of use some of the newer web resources built into CRM Online, which will kind of, this way, when the upgrades come, we're not worrying about is our code going to break and is this going to happen, when we can make our upgrade processes much smoother. So.
Yeah. Great. Any other one? Go ahead.
Yeah, after completing the project itself, did the FastTrack team health check on understand exactly what's done by the
The question is about what happened after you go live, right? If we keep interacting, right? Well, technically the program finishes once we make sure that you are safe and live and stable, and we hand over to support. But the relationship is still there, and when there is something very specific, we can still interact. But officially, the program finishes once you are live, and we confirm that you are good to go.
I just wanted to maybe call out something about customer engagement, the FastTrack for customer engagement. Actually, the project can go beyond the project go live. We have first, we can define the first adoption milestone with you. Maybe JP can share a little bit on that.
Basically, at the beginning of the project, we need to understand what type of methodology you are using. So if you are using a classic waterfall methodology where you develop the 100% of the functionality, then basically we negotiate, trying to understand, okay, the first deployment and the first set of users that will really test and make sure that the solution that was developed is stable enough. And then we disengage. But if you are using an agile model where not all the functionalities are there after the first go live, we usually engage much longer until the critical functionality is in production, tested and stable.
So if I may summarize, I think both for the finance and operations customer engagement, we will make sure after go live you still can continue on have successful using the product. So that's what we're trying to do for you.
Also, I want to mention that, at least in the customer engagement side, we do have a reference program. So if customers want to be our references, we will stay with you as long as you need us or get tired of us. And we have a monthly cadence where we can discuss the roadmap of the product with you and answer any questions that you might have during that period.
I told JP to keep as a secret, but he was so excited I wanted to share that. Just kidding. But it's really, we wanted to try our best to help you as much as possible.
I'm not going to delete Chris's number out of my cell phone, sorry.
Okay, go. Okay, we have a couple of questions. I think the gentleman over there.
What's the difference between approaching the support, if you're deploying and going to FastTrack? Is FastTrack your first point of call, or do you go to support?
So,
okay, so the question is about the role of the support versus FastTrack, right? So I think JP is going to help you on that.
So we don't replace support, okay? What we ask is that if you have a technical issue or a blocker, you check that first with us, because it can be one of the many issues that we take care during our day and experience, and we can immediately unblock you. But if it needs a deep troubleshooting, then your FastTrack engineer will direct you to support, and we'll follow up on that support case.
Yeah. So actually, this is a very important question, and because there is a blur line many times what we do and what support does. My recommendation for you as a customer: utilize the program for the purpose of the program, the guidance, architectural this type of conversations. You will get more value from that than going directly to a type of support type of questions, right? We have a full team that will answer all these very specific type of requests. Use those things for that. Use FastTrack for more the conversation on an architectural level. And it's, of course, we will make sure that you don't get blocked, because we want you to land safely and land on time. And if we detect something that is not in the process working as well, we know the teams. Behind the scenes, we interact, yeah? But let's keep the conversations from the type of things that you can get more value from us. So that's, and it's a part also an education on the teams, right? Make sure that the partners is using the resources properly, and that way we can get more of us.
Okay, I think there's one question here, one question there, and one question here. So let's go this first and that one and Neil. Is that okay? Okay, Jen, you're here.
How do you structure the fees for FastTrack? Is it per user, or is it project-based, or hourly?
It's free. Good question. It's free. Yeah.
It's a program. It's already part of their subscription. Remember that your subscription is a bundle of things, right? And we don't charge you by number of users.
It was easy to sell to our CFO.
Premier services?
No, it's included on the licensing that you have.
Yeah.
It is part of the subscription, so that itself. Yeah, exactly. The slide that Julia had, that basically defines that part of the subscription. Again, I think you heard in the beginning, right? It's meant to be as an investment from Microsoft to make you successful and make us successful. So that's kind of how we look at it.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding everyone it's free. So including benefits, great. So the question here.
My question was on data migration. So for the tools, so we're looking to do a lift and shift. So we're struggling to build a tool for the ETL package. Does Microsoft provide that with this program, or how do you work it?
Can I ask which product to start with?
I'm on 2015
CRM?
out of 212.
Okay,
Yeah.
JP.
So we will have a tool. So we have a session on Friday specifically about that. So it's something that is brand new. So I urge you to go to that session if you have the chance.
What's the session?
The Friday session
So
about
it's Friday from 9 to, I think, 10, right?
11:15.
11:15, thank you.
So we expect you there.
Let me go back to the slides. Actually, you can see here, it's on the slides. It's the BRK1036. This is the one. Okay, great. That's an easy question. I think I saw a question here and a question there, so I will do this first.
This question's for USI. So obviously you started with 5 unique on-prem CRM instances, probably in different versions. Unique customizations across each of them.
Yep.
How did Microsoft help you decide whether to implement or to migrate to 5 final instances in CRM Online? And what were some of the most challenging decisions, particularly around your customization?
Well, I'll be honest with you, we actually still have 3 on-premise. So we have two cloud-based right now, but they're actually majority separate business use, separate user bases. So they're going to really stay consistently separate instances. So, we really didn't have that conversation around that type of change because of just the difference of the business, and they're really different products. Like one is client servicing, where it's more inquiry-based, ticket-based customers calling in. One is sales-based. One is mergers and acquisitions, which is highly confidential information within our corporate environment. The servicing one has actually HIPAA information in it, so that's very restricted. So we really have segregated for business purposes.
So you really went like for like across all of them, and the focus was more about let's pull out all the customization,
Yep.
give access to SQL level or whatever.
Yep.
Turn them into
So
plugins or whatever.
what we did is we kind of built some really cool sales tools. We actually, the past 2 years, we've deployed out over 2,000 Surface Pros throughout our organization. All our staff have Surface Pros now, all our salespeople, so they can actually go out to the client base. They connect through Microsoft Direct Connect. They can go right to CRM Online. We've also built some custom applications that connect in using the Dynamics SDK. We actually also deployed about 75 Surface hubs throughout different offices in the country where we do huddle meetings, where we tie into the CRM Online data, which gives the managers more into views. So we kind of taken that strategy, and we're actually deploying CRM for phones probably in the next week or 2. So we've kind of taken that online push and then integrated a bunch of different technology into it to kind of enable our sales force better.
Great, thank you. I think there's a question there.
Yeah, that goes into the ERP direction, from a European point of view, maybe. It's always been a struggle to have a real bunch of resources, especially in Europe, that support European implementation on the DX or how Dynamics side. So the question is, how big is the team that's standing behind that? So if you're saying FastTrack is free, everybody will engage for free, how do you guarantee that people who support customers, I mean the partners, are actually there and they don't end up being bottlenecks in the streamlined process?
So the question is how we scale for customers on the finance and operations. Well, the team is organized in 3 regions, APAC, EMEA, and America. And because we have, not all the projects are 300, 500 licenses. So we have different levels of projects. So at least we will make sure that if you have a project in finance and operations, you will get, depending the size, you will get somebody that will contact you. Remember, it's not support. We guide you to the process. And we also improving our tools to make you self-sufficient on things that are constantly asked, like make sure that in one project we see the same question across projects. Well, it means that we need to improve our documentation, right? Rather than come to support or come to us to ask the same thing. So we work to generate information for you that you can also follow the guidance that is available online, for example. But we will make sure that you will get a resource for sure.
I understand, and I hope that. And so will you be the line of the, I don't know what it was called, Center for Excellence in the former days? I think that has to be named again. Is that the team that merged into yours, or is it still an old team itself?
No.
No, we're not Center of Excellence, the one you're referring to. The way we have is we are organized by geographies. We have resources in each geography, and we make sure that we connect. As Alejandro pointed out, right, our job is an advisory role. We have 3 ways of engagement: your tech talks, we are bi-weekly touch points, and workshops. So we engage with those kind of modalities, and for support, you always go to the support team so that we are not your bottleneck on a day-to-day stuff. What we are there is to unblock you when you're not getting the right support. So if you use it the right way, you get the best value out of it. And we will make sure that it's not the question of team size. We're really looking at it to say, how do we scale this program, and how do we increase the knowledge base in the channel? It's not just about us teaching you one-on-one. The intent is to kind of detect what is missing, what is not kind of landing well. How do we expand that into a more scalable model?
Okay. Great. I forgot to introduce Swami. Swami is our FastTrack lead for finance operations. Thank you for jumping in, for answering those questions. Thank you. Any other additional questions from the audience? Last call, because we only have 2 minutes left. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I just want to make sure before everyone left, remember to fill the eval. So want to understand how the information shared with you is helpful or not, so we can improve in the future, deliver more useful information to you. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you.